wanted to meet you face to face and announce my candidacy for the presidency of the United States. Yes, you're saying to yourself it's a little late. I understand that. The elections are in November. But I have all the confidence in the world that we will make a viral statement and we will spread the word as quickly as possible, and then you can write me in. Because quite frankly, we need a candidate for the everyday person. We do not have it. I've got nothing personal against President Obama, and I've got nothing personal against Mr. Romney. I'm sure that they're wonderful people and their families love them. But quite frankly, what they are is an example of the politics of old. The politics of old will not work today. How do I know it won't work today? Because it's not working. We have got homeless, we have got suffering, we have got people who are out of work, we've got people who are almost out of their homes, we've got foreclosures, and we've got a recession that's not getting any better. And I don't care what people tell you the economic indicators say, it's not getting better. And in my opinion, in the opinion of many leading economists, it's going to get worse. We are headed for a double dip recession, and when a double dip recession hits an already suffering economy, we've got problems. It's not just the economy, we've got problems in education, we've got problems in manufacturing, we've got problems in industry, we've got problems with the deficit. I can't even count the number of zeros on our deficit. This country is not strong any longer, and we need to be strong. So I'm announcing my candidacy, and I'm going to let you guys all write me in. I'm sitting in what will be the West Coast White House in Olympia, Washington. This will be the power center of my presidency when I'm not in D.C. I'm not going to D.C., by the way, in the summer. It's too hot. It's too muggy there. I can't be bothered with that. So I'll be spending the White House summers here in Olympia, and then maybe in the winter I'll go back to D.C. for a while. And Bev, who will be my first lady, is right now behind the camera in her pajamas. That's the kind of White House we want. I'm going to wear my Boston sweatshirt, my Boston University sweatshirt. On occasion, you'll see me with a Washington Husky sweatshirt, because after all, the dogs rule and everyone else drools. Okay. So, my presidency, what's my platform? My platform is get back to common sense and get back to common decency in this country. I want to get rid of the federal involvement in the education system. You give me 10 dedicated teachers who know what they're talking about, and we can fix the system in about a month. We've been messing around for decades with a system that's going down the toilet, and anybody who has had a child in public schools understands that. The system isn't working. You know, No Child Left Behind police. What happened with No Child Left Behind was about, 80 million kids were left behind because of inadequate education. It can't happen. Take the federal government out of the equation, we're going to get some things done. Put it back into the hands of the states and let the states worry about their education. They can handle it because it's a smaller group that they have to handle. Federal government's just too big. It's too big. They're trying to make one set of principles work for, I don't know how many school kids we got, let's say 80 million. One set of principles isn't going to work for 80 million kids. It's impossible. And anybody that thinks it can is obviously out of touch with reality. The reality is the United States educational system is broken. And bureaucratic efforts to fix that have failed miserably over the last 20 years. So it's time to take the bureaucrats out of it. Me and 10 other teachers can fix this in a heartbeat. Just saying. Homelessness. The job problems we've got in this country, I'm telling you what, let's go back to FDR days and the New Deal. You know, Franklin Delano Roosevelt faced this very problem, and he just started creating jobs. Don't tell me that we're becoming a service economy and that we don't have manufacturing jobs. I say open up all the manufacturing plants that have been closed down and put them back to making things in this country. And if you want to know how we're going to do this in a heartbeat, if we fix the infrastructure in this country, it's going to cost $2.2 trillion, according to the last estimates. I'm wondering what it costs to send that probe up to Mars. And I'm wondering why we needed a set of photographs from Mars when we've got people who are out of work. That's what I'm talking about, common sense. I don't care about Mars. I care about people working. And I care about the homeless on the streets. Science exploration is wonderful if we can afford to do it. We can't afford to do it when we've got an unemployment rate at 8.1% in this country. And in some states, 12, 13, 14%. Don't talk to me about Mars. Don't talk to me about a Star Wars defense system. Don't care about it. I care about the people who are out there struggling right now. That's how you're going to get America back to a position of power, is get those people working. Mars. What, do we have an economy on Mars? Did I miss something? Are we producing Chevrolets on Mars? Please. Infrastructure, fix the roads, fix the bridges, fix the schools, put in a mass transit system that connects every city in the United States. $2.2 trillion is the best investment you're ever going to make. You'll create millions of new jobs, and you'll put people to work within a month. FDR did it. Don't tell me we can't do it. It could be done like that. It takes one forward-thinking human being in Washington, D.C. who says, enough is enough. We're going to make jobs, and we're going to put people back to work. And that's what it takes. Don't diddle-dick around with these plans where we're going to change the economy into a service economy, and we're going to retrain people. Please. You take a mother of 4 in Georgia, and how are you going to retrain her into the service industry? How does she find the time between changing diapers and working 4 jobs to feed her family? How's she going to find the time to go back to school? That's unrealistic. President Obama, it's unrealistic. Bill Clinton, during your speech, you were talking about that. It's unrealistic. That's one of those answers that, it's a blanket, it's going to fit all. No, it isn't. There are poor people who cannot afford to go back to school, and even if you had the money to send them back to school, they don't have the time. How do they take care of their families and go to school? It's stupid. Create jobs so this country gets back on its feet. If any logical human being like me was in the White House, there would be a job for every person in the United States that wants to work. I understand there are people that don't want to work. I get that. Okay, I'm not talking about the handouts for the people who simply are too lazy to work. I'm talking about every United States citizen that wants to work should be able to work, and there should be a job available, and they shouldn't have to retrain for it. How much training does it take to pick up a shovel and start digging a roadbed? Get people back to work. They feel better about themselves. They have pride in what they're doing, and the country starts to turn around. Homelessness. Please tell me why there is one veteran that's homeless, let alone 300,000 per month. How do you ask people to defend this country, and then when they're done defending, you tell them, sorry, we don't have any time for you right now? How is that right? And you hear it in the political speeches, oh, we're going to take care of the military. And they march a veteran up onto the stage and they pat him on the back and say, we've got your back. We're going to take care of you. 300,000 are homeless every month. Who's taking care of them? I'd like to see a tent city of those 300,000 on the White House lawn. Then you might get some answers. Congressional leaders, you're a waste of time and you're an embarrassment. I will tell you one person who I respect in Congress right now, that's Bernie Sanders, the independent out of Vermont. Other than that, I got no time for politicians. You want action in Washington, D.C.? You got actions in Washington, D.C.? Pay the congressional leaders $7.25 an hour. That's minimum wage. You'll get some action real quick about social issues. Let them live the way the rest of us are living. Average wage, average income, per capita income is something like $32,000 in the United States. It's lower now than it was 8 years ago. Inflation's gone up every year, except 2009. Now, how can we get ahead when we are making less than the inflation rate? Foreign trade, I got nothing against Chinese people. Could we go out on the line right here? I'm going global right here by telling you I've got nothing against China. But I do have something against buying more of their product than they buy of ours. We can't go back to isolationism, but we sure as heck can have a foreign trade balance that's equal. We're at like $259 billion in deficit to the Chinese right now. How does that happen? We were the greatest manufacturing country on earth. How does that happen? Okay, here's how it works. If they want $10 billion of our product in a month, then they have to buy 10 million, or then we'll buy $10 billion of their product in a month. Equal dollars. There's none of this deficit thing. Okay, if we're going to outsource 2,000 jobs a month to China, then I want them outsourcing 2,000 Chinese over here to work here. This is inexcusable. And here's where it's your responsibility, my dear fellow Americans. You need to start buying American products. If you've got a small business, you need to find every way possible to pay a wage where people can live on it. If you want people to shop at your stores, then you got to give them a way to make money so that they can shop. This is ridiculous. The responsibility is in everybody's pocket. If we do not want the Chinese to be running the economic world, which they are, then start buying American product. Pick up the labels and look at the label and find out where that product's made. If it says Taiwan, China, Japan, put the damn thing down and pick up something that says United States of America. Then you'll start seeing things change. We got 300 million Americans who just pick up items and they're helping the Chinese economy, and then they wonder what the heck's going on. Why don't I have a job? Because you just gave it away by buying a t-shirt that cost $2 less at Walmart because it was made in China. It doesn't work that way, folks. The responsibility is in your lap just as much as it is the politician. Bell's waving. The First Lady's telling me I'm done. That'll give you an idea of what's going to happen when the Western White House is in production here. Okay? The election is in a month and a half. Give it some thought. You need to have somebody in the White House who actually does care, who actually has lived the life you're living, and who wasn't born into luxury. Then we'll start seeing some action. God bless you all. I'm not going to say, like a standard politician, God bless the United States of America. I want all of us in this together. This is a world problem. So God bless you all. Live long and prosper.